Hey everyone, at our last PD session, there seemed to be some interest in using the rubrics on Google Classroom, but as we've been working with it, we found a couple things that were causing some issues for some people. So we're going to run through an example of how to use a template to go ahead and set up your rubric on a spreadsheet and then import it into Google Classroom. So there are a couple different things that we want to go through in this video real fast. One, we mentioned that you could just go ahead and copy and paste your rubrics that you might already have in a Google Doc or Google Sheet into the template. However, we found that as people have been doing this, the formatting of Google Docs actually messes up something within the spreadsheet that doesn't allow Google Classroom to read it properly. So you will have to go ahead and type everything in to your spreadsheet, which does take a little bit of time. But if you have multiple teachers that are using the same rubric, you can just share that Google Sheet then, and then everybody has access to that. So it is still pretty handy if you're in a co-teaching setting or multiple teachers are teaching the same class and going to use that same material. Then you also have it in your Google Drive so that you've got it for years to come as well. If you are a teacher that is the only one teaching and using the rubric, I might suggest just typing everything out in Google Classroom, because you can go ahead and reuse rubrics from one class to another. So ultimately it's up to you, but I wanted to run through, if you're going to use Google Sheets, how to go ahead and do that. So we've made this template here, and you have to enter into these specific boxes, otherwise it will not fit. So the template is set up with 4 categories. If you don't need all 4 categories, you can just delete the text from the boxes, but don't delete the rows or it will mess up some of the formatting. This template can be found in our professional development Google Classroom page, and you will just need to make a copy. So you're going to go File, Make a Copy. I'm going to do this for a rubric that we use in 6th grade for interacting systems. I would recommend setting up your screen side by side. So there's an extension called DualS that you can actually split your screens pretty quickly. So you just click on it and you can choose the formatting. I like to split the 50-50 here. There we go. Okay, so I have the template over here and I have my actual rubric that's already created over on the right side. So I'm just going to have to go back and forth between the two and type what's over here into the rubric or the template that fits. For this particular essay, it's set up so that all students to score secure have to meet these requirements for 5 paragraphs, and then to score at the exceeds level, they write an additional paragraph. So the formatting of this template is not necessarily the most ideal for how I want it to look in Google Classroom, but I can still use the template and modify just a few things. So I'm going to go ahead and type in all the information that I need. I'll speed this video up so that you don't have to watch me do that live, and then we'll kind of talk through how to get it through Google Classroom. Okay, so right here I've set it up for 4 paragraphs. So it's a 5-paragraph essay. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this section here, and then right below I'm going to paste a new one, and I'm going to relabel this as my paragraph 5 so that I can add in the extra criteria. Okay, so at this point I have all of my main criteria in here, and like we said earlier, in this particular rubric you can't score exceeds on paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to place X's in here right now just to kind of take place of those, and then I will adjust it when I upload this rubric into Google Classroom. Okay, I also, for this one, I do have an exceeds option, and that requires a 6th paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this down below. We're going to change this to our exceeds paragraph. And this one is all about a counter argument. So for this paragraph, there is no secure, developing, or beginning requirements. The only requirements are that all secure requirements are met up above, and the paragraph includes a counter argument described in there. So I'm going to put that in this exceeds column here. Okay, so we've got our template filled out here. Okay, now we're going to take it on over to Google Classroom and see kind of what that looks like. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and create a new assignment. This is going to be our interacting systems essay. And and I'm just going to put in here, this is the rubric. You would go ahead and attach any files that you need kids to turn in right down here, or any resources that they need, and then you'll click on rubric down in this right corner over here. When you do that, you have these options. We're working on importing from Sheets. And then the nice thing is that there's a whole Sheets category, and usually it is your most recent one that will pop up first. So if you've just been working on it, it should be right here. This is my interacting systems rubric. I'm going to add that. And as long as everything's typed in properly, it should pop up here. I would double check through to make sure that everything is in the correct spots, but this one is looking pretty good. So now you'll notice though, there are no points in here. So I want the points, and I prefer mine to be in ascending order so that beginning is on the left and the exceeds is on the right. And then anywhere that I put an X right now, I'm actually going to click the 3 dots that are in the bottom corner of it. And I'm going to delete these sections because they did not apply to those specific paragraphs for this essay. And then once I've got that there, you can see that my rubric is now out of 19. So I'm going to save this. I can go back and I can look at it, and this is what it will look like when I go to grade. So it's going to be paragraph 1, beginning, developing, and secure, and I can just click on the one that it is. Paragraph 2, paragraph 3, 4, and 5, and then my exceeds paragraph, the criteria is listed right here, and I can click that for if they got it or not. It is going to grade it at its total points here, and so you will still have to figure out what total points you think go to each different category. So hopefully this helps a little bit. It can be kind of challenging the first couple times that you try to import a sheet into it. So if you have any questions while trying to go through that process, feel free to let one of us know, and we'd be more than happy to help you figure it out. Good luck.